Hello, everyone! Welcome to our channel where we bring you all the latest Peppa Pig full episodes. If you love Peppa Pig, then make sure to subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you updated on all of our new episodes. Also, please like this video so that more people will get to see it. And without further ado, let us begin with today's video. Today, we have a very special episode for you all. It is called Peppa's Emergency. Miss Rabbit has a big accident. The episode starts with Peppa and her family getting ready to visit Granny and Grandpa Rabbit. Peppa was super excited because she got to drive the car. As they were driving, Peppa kept hitting the bumps in the road and Daddy Pig told her to slow down or else they would have an accident. But Peppa just couldn't stop herself from pressing down hard on the accelerator pedal. Soon enough, they arrived at Grandpa and Granny Rabbit's house, and Peppa immediately ran inside to tell them that she had arrived. "I'm here! I'm here!" Peppa shouted. But instead of getting a warm welcome from her grandparents, Peppa found them sitting on the floor next to a big puddle. What happened? Peppa asked, shocked by what she saw. "We were trying to fix the hole in the garden, but it just keeps getting bigger and bigger," said Grandpa Rabbit, sighing heavily. "It's no good," added Granny Rabbit. "We'll never be able to fix this ourselves." At that moment, Peppa came up with a wonderful idea. She knew exactly who could help them. Peppa immediately called her friends using her red telephone and invited them over to help fix the hole in the garden. Soon enough, all of her friends showed up, each bringing something different to help out. George brought his toy truck, Rebecca brought some mud from her sandbox, and Emily Elephant brought a big bucket. "Thank you all so much for coming," said Peppa. "I know you're all really busy, so thank you again." Then Peppa explained the situation and the friends all got to work. First, they used Emily's bucket to collect water from the nearby lake. They poured the water into the hole to help the ground become less dry and harder. Next, they started filling the hole with Rebecca's sand. This made the hole look a lot smaller, but it still needed a little bit more. George then drove his toy truck around the edge of the hole, which helped pack down the sand and make the hole even smaller. After a few minutes of hard work, the hole was almost completely gone. Only a little bit of sand needed to be added. Just as they were about to finish, suddenly there was a loud crash. Everyone gasped and looked towards the sound. They saw the Dandy Dog had accidentally knocked over a watering can and muddy water was pouring onto the nearly finished hole. All of Peppa's friends started to feel sad. It looked like all their hard work was going to be for nothing. But Peppa wouldn't allow that. She knew exactly what to do. Peppa told her friends not to worry and that they could fix this. So Peppa took charge and told everyone what to do. She told Danny Dog to go get some paper towels to soak up the water, while George went to get some more sand from Rebecca's sandbox. Peppa also asked Emily Elvin to help her with a secret plan. They took some of the sand from the bottom of the bucket and made a small mound in the middle of the wet spot. Then they put the paper towel around the mound to make it look like a little volcano. After a few minutes, everything was fixed and the friends were ready to show off their finished work. They all cheered and clapped as they looked at the beautiful garden. "Wow! Well done, everyone!" said Peppa. "We really couldn't have done it without you!" "Peppa," said Granny Rabbit, "thank you for helping us." At that moment, Peppa felt really proud of herself and her friends. They had worked together and helped solve a problem. Peppa knew that being helpful was one of the most important things in life. And so the day continued with lots of fun and games in the garden. Peppa and her friends played until it was time for them to go home. As they were saying goodbye, Peppa told her friends that they should all get together again soon. Everyone agreed and promised to come over for a play date the following week. When it was time for bed that night, Peppa couldn't help but think about how much fun she had during the day. She thought about how she and her friends had worked together to help fix the hole in the garden and how happy it had made her grandparents. Peppa also thought about how lucky she was to have such wonderful friends. She knew that if she ever needed help, they would be there for her, just like she was there for them. With these thoughts in mind, Peppa closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. The next morning, Peppa woke up feeling refreshed and ready for a new day. She knew that she had a busy schedule ahead of her, but she was excited to tackle it. As she got out of bed, she noticed something strange. There was a big patch of dirt in the middle of her room. Peppa was confused and didn't know what to make of it. She had never seen this before. Just then, her little brother George came running into the room. "Look! Peppa! A mud patch? He exclaimed excitedly. Peppa and George looked at each other for a moment, then burst out laughing. Peppa realized that she and George had so much fun playing in the mud the day before that they must have accidentally tracked some of it inside. The two siblings spent the morning cleaning up the mess and making sure their room was nice and tidy. As the day went on, Peppa and George got dressed and headed downstairs for breakfast. Their mother, Mummy Pig, had made them their favorite meal of pancakes. After breakfast, Peppa and George went outside to play. They ran around the garden, played with their toys, and had a great time. As the afternoon wore on, Peppa and George started to get hungry again. They went back inside and sat down at the table. Their father, Daddy Pig, was home from work now, and he had brought them a big slice of chocolate cake. Peppa and George were thrilled. They loved chocolate cake. After they had eaten all the cake they wanted, they helped clear the table and then went back outside to play some more. By the time the sun started to set, Peppa and George were exhausted. They had had such a busy day and were looking forward to a good night's sleep. As they got ready for bed, Peppa and George couldn't help but talk about all the fun they had during the day. They talked about playing in the mud, eating pancakes, and drinking chocolate milk. When it was finally time for bed, Peppa and George snuggled up in their beds. They said their prayers and then closed their eyes. As Peppa drifted off to sleep, she thought about how lucky she was to have such a wonderful family and friends. She knew that no matter what happened, she could always count on them. And with that thought in mind, Peppa fell fast asleep. So that's the end of today's Peppa Pig full episode. We hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we did. Do you forget to subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you updated on all of our new videos. Thank you for watching today's video, and we'll see you next time.